that you're doing on purpose. Sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you. Pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Yes, everybody, welcome in. Later with Jason Suel. Glad you are tuned in. Man, Bo Counts, how's it going?
It's going very, very well.
Yes.
It's going great. We're
okay,
here.
So something that's happening, maybe it just happened, maybe it's going to happen, spring break.
Yeah.
Used to be a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And now it's like not a thing
Who
as an
cares?
adult, right?
Who cares?
It's kind of sad. I mean, I feel like I had such great memories of spring break, but now I'm all about giving those memories to the kiddos. You know?
Well, I mean, it's one of those weird holidays that's not really a holiday. I never really got to like enjoy spring break as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of those weird things like Double Dare when I was a kid, right? You'd see it and you go, well, when I grow up, I'm going to do that. And then you look back and you go, crap, I missed the window. Like,
Yeah.
where was it? And so that was spring break. I'd look up and I'd see all these like, we're going to the beach, party ragers. I'm like, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to do that. And then I look back and I go, well, I never did that. Well, crap, I guess
Yeah, you missed out.
I missed out spring break.
You missed out on the opportunity. Womp, womp. Do people come at the bar at Pinpoint?
Yeah.
Spring break still busy?
I mean, you know, it's funny because Fayetteville
Yeah.
is one of those towns where it's so many students here. And I think they just get evicted from their student living situations for spring break. They're just like, get out of here.
Get out of here for a
You-
week.
You can't live here.
We got to
And-
fumigate.
Yeah, and then so much of Fayetteville just kind of empties out, which I kind of find is a nice spring break from the students.
Right, I gotcha.
So we get to enjoy.
You get to enjoy the city. The city comes back to
Yeah.
life in that way.
Yeah.
Yes, we hope you are coming back to life when you're watching this great episode of the show. Here's what we got lined up. We're going to be talking to one of the comedians who is headed to the Comedy Zone, which is a comedy series they're doing at Walton Arts Center. He's going to be zooming in with us. Can't wait to get into the zone. The Comedy Zone.
The Comedy Zone.
That's right. And we've got some music. So here's something exciting. KUAF has partnered with our very own Fayetteville Public Television to do some tiny desk concert submissions, and we have a great one for you. RLI is joining us, going to be showing their tiny desk submission on the show a little bit later. And then down there at our chef's table, we've got the chef from Lady Slipper, Arturo, joining us. Arturo, you got a big spread. What are you going to be putting together for us?
You do a nice beet salad.
Ooh, yes, I love it. Staying healthy, time of year, right? The greens are growing, the sun is shining, spring break is here, and so are you. Stick around. We got more fun happening later. Look who's back. It's celebrity historian Rafi Andonian, and you brought some peanut butter because we're talking about Peanut Butter Month.
That's right, and believe it or not, it has a history as well, like so many other things.
Yes, yeah, of course, and you would know the history. Of course, this comes around every year in March, I guess, right?
That's right, celebrating the most American of things.
Right.
One of my favorites actually is a quote by a foreign reporter foreign-born reporter who was in the United States, and he was asked, when did you feel like you became American? And he said, when I started to love peanut butter.
Oh, interesting. Well, you know, speaking of that, I think we got to get some origins, really, of peanut butter, where it came from, where the idea came
It
from.
begins in the Americas, in Central America,
Okay.
thousands of years ago, is when you have peanuts and mashing of peanuts in some fashion, like soups and butters and, you know, what we would call these different kind of types dishes.
Sure.
But when Europeans come over across the Atlantic and then go back across the Atlantic, they take those peanuts and peanut butter
Right.
and take it back across to places like Africa and even Asia. It starts to
Okay.
get traded. And think about Asian cuisines and African cuisines today that have peanuts in them.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, it starts in the Americas and then
Then
goes
goes
there.
over
So those
there.
are actually historically speaking, relatively recent additions to their cuisines.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting in the United States is it doesn't come to the United States until about the 18th century. So you're talking the 1750s, 1780s. And the reason for that is it comes back across the Atlantic with the English. So it didn't actually make it up to North America originally. It had to kind of go all around the world before it came here.
Fascinating, yeah.
That's how it kind of ends up being, in the United States. Now, one of the ways it becomes very American is by the time of the 19th century, there's more and more promotion of it and popularization of it. And one of the big people that is behind it is Dr. George Washington Carver, born, of course, not far from here.
I was wondering how long it was going to take you to bring him up, because I love that story.
The Peanut Man, right?
That's right.
100 plus uses. He has publications. You can find him on online archives, finding all the ways he promotes to use peanuts and especially peanut butter.
Yeah.
And one of the ways he talked about it was
what
that
are you
you
doing?
can use it as shaving cream. I think it works pretty well. Look at that, nice and creamy and smooth. Look at that. I really think it works really nicely.
Okay.
So we're gonna do a little demonstration and see.
Look at you.
See how well it works. You see,
Okay.
it's a little gooey on my razor here, but see, nice and smooth. I'm not cutting myself, and I can't even look in the mirror. I can't even see right now.
Look at that. You look great. There is not a smear of peanut butter on your face left.
The buttery part of peanut butter. That's what
right.
we're tapping into with the shaving
So that
cream.
was one of the uses that you can
is.
find that's out
One
there.
of the uses that is there.
I'm gonna get this big chunk before it falls off. Oh, there we go. All right.
Now, one final thing to consider that really makes it popular is not just the labor and the promotion of George Washington by George Washington Carver, and now we have the cereal guy who's doing this
and all these
the
endorsements
marketing and all the endorsements. But now I think what really gets it is the arrival and the invention of sliced bread. When sliced bread gets invented in Iowa, it spreads across Missouri and across this region very early on in 1920s and into 1930s. And that's when you get the PB&J.
That's
and
when you
that's
put it with
really
jam,
the awesome
right?
stuff. That's right. And in that same period, you get partial hydrogenation, which gives it this texture that makes it shelf stable and able to export it in much wider circles and be able to distribute it. So all those things have to come together to make it really popular for the United States to have peanut butter.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for filling us in on the history of peanut butter during this month. We appreciate it. Yeah, stick around. More fun happening later. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We are so honored to be joined right now by stand-up comedian Michael Palasak. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us. We appreciate you.
He's kind of sitting down right now.
It's an honor to be here.
Nice.
I love being on my couch that's your couch right now.
I know that you're coming here to Northwest Arkansas. We're excited about your show. But for our audience who might not be familiar with you, let's just dive into some history. How long have you been a comedian standing up, performing in front of people?
Decades. About 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can say decades now.
Yeah.
It's just decade.
Not just one, it's multiple. What made you...
Decades!
Yes! You should celebrate
Multiple
that.
presidents.
What made you want to start the path? Because I know it can be a grueling one, right? Being a stand-up comedian. Why'd you want to do it?
My older brother was an electrical engineer, and he looked so sad that I was like, I need to do something that's fun with my life.
It's very true. One of my best friends is an electrical engineer, often looking sad.
Yep. My brother, he ended up going to law school, and he's happy now. But at the time, he was very sad.
You're doing a tour right now, and I know a lot of times comedians, when they have a tour, they like name them something. Does this show have a name?
Well, we were messing around with something. I have a joke about how a guy came up to me after a show, and he was like, I don't want to be a stalker, but I saw you on YouTube or whatever. So I've been calling some of the shows the Not a Stalker Tour, just so people know that if they come out to the show, I don't think they're a stalker. I think they're just in there to enjoy the comedy. Even if you are a stalker, I don't check. So,
They could be. Who knows?
bring all your stalker friends.
Yeah. Anybody's welcome, right?
We welcome all creeds.
Yes, I love it.
And at least stalkers are consistent. They'll probably go from show to show. So, I mean, it's a good repeat customer.
That's the thing. Like you miss a show, I'll come to your house. Now you have a stalker. So.
What about your influences? Any major comedians that have influenced you along the way?
The movie Rocky influenced me.
My favorite comedy, yeah.
I didn't realize it until I watched it again as an adult, but my dad, when my mom would have stuff or whatever at night, we'd order food, and my brothers and I and my dad, we'd watch all the Rocky movies, like not all at once, but like throughout weeks or whatever. And then I started doing stand up. Like the common sense isn't always there. Like it's not a big leap for me to not get something that everyone else does. And so I kind of played into that a lot in the beginning, and then I watched Rocky and I'm like, oh, I think this is just like a non-fighter Rocky. I feel like that was there in the beginning. Mitch Hedberg was very big when I started. So
Sure.
like the writing of the one lines and stuff.
Yeah, what is a sesame?
Yeah, yes.
The open stuff.
Yes.
Way to open stuff. That's a Mitch Hedberg joke for everybody.
It is,
Yes.
yes. I'm glad you caught it.
Yes.
Yeah. We never give it a chance to grow.
You sound just
Jerry-
like him too.
Jerry, my parent, I go to church. I'm Catholic, and so I wasn't allowed to swear a lot growing up. So Seinfeld was someone that I could listen to, like as a kid. So that was definitely an influence, and and stuff like that. So I would say those are the major ones.
Yeah, those are great. I was just watching Seinfeld yesterday. I mean, that show, some of the episodes has staying power, right? It's
Yeah,
really
what's
funny.
the deal with it?
What makes me want to watch it over? I would say, because I grew up kind of in that generation of, I was a kid when it was on TV, but I think I could watch any of them mostly, and they're all just there, and they're funny.
Yeah. Well, Michael, this show coming to Northwest Arkansas, right here to our own Walton Arts Center. What can people expect as they come out, audience members?
Yeah, I mean, the best way for me to describe it is like if you just type my name into YouTube, there's a lot of stuff on there. So that's kind of who I've been, and then the new stuff. Everything that I do in my show is all different than online, and but people like it. So it's observational, it's biographical, autobiographical because of me, and if you're in my life and I talk about you on stage, I'm usually pretty nice, but I also make,
We make jokes.
My dad said I could talk about them as long as I'm getting paid. So
That's right. I love that. Well, we can't wait to see you come into Walton Arts Center. Details right there on your screen. You can see right there. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's the right there. Yeah, it's gonna be there anyway. Thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Coming to us from North Hollywood, California. We appreciate you. Can't wait to have you here in Northwest Arkansas.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Stick around. We got more fun, if you can believe it. It's all happening later.
Our musical guest is brought to you by the debut season of The Comedy Zone at Walton Arts Center.
The sun's brightly rises, reminds me I'm gleaming green. And all the while I'm tangling as the flavor slips away. Oh, the tragedy, away, oh, the tragedy. I'm a wide-eyed coyote, a cackling cacophony. How did I get so wild when all I can feel is the weight of the change makes me tender as I was a child? Fear the darkness, darling. I'm not dull and I'm not plain. You can't leave your best girl drying on the line to fade away. In the end, it's over. There's so little left away. Love me always, love me most. The tears turn into grace. Shame, go away, leave me belly aching another day. best girl trying on the line to fade away. In the end, it's over. There's so little left to wait. Love me always, love me most. Love me always, love me most. Love me always, love me most. To the tears turning to grace.
Yes, everybody, we're down here at the chef's table. Arturo joining us. Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Did you bring your lady slippers?
Yeah.
Always have on it.
He always has
Always
one
got
on you.
that thing on me.
Yes. All right, we're putting stuff in bowls. What are we making down here?
I'm making a little simple beet salad.
Okay.
With some greens from our friends at Red Barn.
Oh, nice.
This doesn't look simple. You've got such a mise en place here. There's powders, there's green things, and goops.
and beets.
Yeah, beets that
Yeah.
we cook
Bottles
in
of
a little bit of
potion.
sugar and lime and vinegar.
Okay.
Kind of pickle them a little bit.
Yeah,
Try
sure.
it out.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. What do you think?
Okay, that's good. See, normally I'm a little skeptical of beets because it's like a lot of times you get beets and it just tastes like dirt. But this is really good.
Yeah. And then what's that goop you're putting on
So
there?
this here is a sherry vinegar, lime, and lemon juice.
Okay.
Kind of mixed, and that's our dressing.
Yeah, so you're
yep.
saying lime a lot, like a lot of citrus flavors in that. You were
Yes.
also saying something about, what do you bake these? How do you make a black lime?
These
So-
right here.
Yeah.
So black lime is essentially dehydrated. We cook our limes in the oven and for a couple days, low temperature, and this turns into this.
Wow.
And then we grind it and make a little black powder.
You make a powder out of it. Okay, yeah.
Like charcoal.
And that goes right in there.
Yep.
Does it taste citrusy?
Yeah,
What?
it's like a concentrated flavor.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we're just gonna put the beets in that,
All right, dropping beets.
drop in the beets.
I love it. While you're doing this too, talk to us about your concept there, Lady Slipper, and kind
Yeah.
of the food you have and what you do.
Of course, yeah. So our concept itself is a cocktail bar, and we have a restaurant that a lot of people don't know of, but it's downstairs.
Okay.
And we do small plates, shareables kind of thing. Our menu's always changing.
You got all those leaves.
Yes.
Where do they go?
So all these are the topping for the salad. So we got some beautiful red kale.
Yeah.
We got some little red lettuces and whatnot, and then some Swiss chard
Yeah.
leaves.
Delicious.
Yeah.
And then you got microgreens, I assume, for finish.
Yep.
Okay.
We have a beautiful a range of greens that we get locally from our purveyors. NWA Grow gives us some beautiful, little garnishes and fresh leaves
Ooh,
and
that
basil.
smells like
and-
basil.
Yeah. So you say it's primarily a cocktail bar, but you do have kind of the restaurant side of things as well. Are
Yes.
you a part of putting together the cocktail menu as well as the food, or do you just focus on the food?
We just focus on the food,
Yeah.
really. But we do have a little say in what goes on
Yeah.
sometimes.
Up-
Yeah,
Upstairs.
bar team and chef team
Yeah.
generally have, very strict skill sets.
But you want to make sure that whatever you're creating down there is delicious so that it pairs well with the cocktails upstairs.
Right, yeah, of course. So we're always trying to work together, separately put together to make sure that the food is cohesive with the drinks and,
Yeah, when a bartender comes in and goes, Arturo, can you make this crazy like foam? And you're like, fine.
But,
Yeah. So,
Okay, a little bit of
yeah,
salt.
finishing
what
it off.
What was this squeezy green?
So that's a little herb oil.
little herb oil.
Yep. So super simple, beets, greens, nice little dressing.
that's
You can make
nice.
this at home.
It's like you know you do.
nice.
I know. I love it when chefs come on and give us stuff that we can do at home. I feel like I could recreate this.
Yeah.
Kind of elevate, your dinner or whatever you're having, whatever time you want to have some shit.
And is this something that you can get right now?
You can get it right now, yeah. I think at the farmers market
Fresh, right?
you can get these. If not, you can get them through your local markets.
Okay, and I need tips on how to make those black limes.
Whoa, catch.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. Ooh,
It's light.
it's much lighter than I
200
thought it was going to
degrees
be.
in the oven.
Yeah.
About 3 days. Just let
Just
it go.
let it go.
Yep.
Just let it sit. I love it. Set it and forget it, right? Give us the details on Lady Slipper, where you're located. Maybe people want to find you on social media.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
downtown Bentonville, 132
Yeah.
is the address, 2nd Street. Right behind the runway building in front of Record.
Yeah, sure.
Behind Scotch and Soda. It's kind of in the back end of this, so there's
Yeah.
a parking lot.
What's your favorite thing on the menu right now?
Man,
What's
it's
your
always
shi-
changing.
What's your shift meal?
Rice.
Rice?
Rice.
It's rice? Okay.
We always have rice.
What's your shift drink?
Water.
Water?
Of
Okay,
course.
some
of
water
course.
and rice.
Of course.
A humble meal.
What a chef. Yeah, a humble meal. I love it. Hey, thanks for making this. We're going to get a chance to try this when we come back after this break. Stick around. It's all happening later. Yes, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media or send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com. Before we get out of here, we got to thank our great guests, including the comedian Michael, who's coming to Walton Arts Center. You don't want to miss that show.
And of course, our tour from Lady Slipper coming in with this beet salad.
Man, so fresh, so clean, so delicious. And then how about that tiny desk concert from RLI? Amazing stuff filmed right here at FPTV. That's our show. We'll see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
Let's eat this.